So in this video I wanted to discuss feathers, or the practice swings that we do before we play shots. So some players do the same number of feathers on every single shot that they play. So some players may do 3 feathers and they do that on every shot. Doesn't matter about the difficulty of the shot, they stick to the same routine. Other players change their feathers. Sometimes they may do a few more or a few less feathers depending on what shot they're playing on and the difficulty of that shot. Now in this video what I wanted to do was clear up exactly why we do our feathers. So I see lots of players that may just watch the TV, they're copying a professional player and they think that they need to do some feathers so they get down on the table and they do 3 feathers every single time when they're playing shots. But what I wanted to discuss in this video is exactly why we do those feathers and why they're so important. So I'm going to do that by using a few different examples. Now, first of all, feathers are useful because we're checking to make sure that the cue is moving backwards and forwards in a straight line. That's one of the big reasons that players do feathers. They check that their arm is moving properly and they're moving the cue backwards and forwards in a straight line. Another reason is that we're using them to check our aiming. So we're looking between the white ball and the object ball, and we look probably a few times between the white and then between the object ball, and we get a feel for our aiming on the object ball, and we get a feel for exactly where we're going to strike on the cue ball. So the feathers are very useful because if I'm playing a stun shot, for example, so I'm playing just below centre, I'm feathering up and I'm making sure that my cue tip is aiming at a precise point on that white ball. And now the third very big reason that we do the feathers is that we want to get a feel for the shot that we're about to play. So obviously snooker is more complicated than just literally potting a ball. We need to pot that ball and we need to get the white ball perfectly into position. So we're going to have a look at some shots here where I need to have lots of feel in my cue action, some good timing on the shot, and that's why those feathers and those practice swings are so important. Right, so we'll use this first shot here on the black as our first example of why these feathers or these practice swings are so important. So I've got a shot here on the black. I need to try and pot the black, and then I want to take my white and cannon into that red that's on the side cushion there and bring it into play. So this is why my feathers are going to be so important here, because they're going to allow me to have a little practice for the shot, get a feel for the pace that I need so that my white very accurately goes towards that red on the side cushion. Now in terms of whether you do the same amount of feathers on every shot, so some players choose to do 3 feathers and that never changes, or whether you alternate your feathers, so sometimes you do more and sometimes you do less feathers, that's totally up to you. But the really important thing that I wanted to get across in this video is the importance of knowing why we use those feathers. And they're little practice swings, a little practice for the weight and the judgment that's required, so that not only do we pot the ball, we execute the positional side of the shot very accurately as well. So there's no right or wrong. You don't have to do the same amount of feathers as somebody else. Do what you need to do so that you feel comfortable on the shot and you get a feel for the shot you're about to play. So if I was to have a look at this shot on the black here, I've got to try and pot the black obviously here now, and then try and get my white to cannon into that red on the side cushion. So when I get down to the shot, that's what these practice swings are for. Now I'm trying to get a feel for the weight that I need so that I'll get the white up and towards that red. So you can see I've missed the cannon that time there. But that's exactly why I'm using those practice swings, because I want to try and get a feel for that shot and the exact weight that's required. So let's play one of those and I'll do my normal routine. So that time there you can see that I have cannoned into the red ball. I actually caught the red slightly on the wrong side there. But you can see the importance there of why I'm using those feathers. Now some players find that by doing the same number of feathers each time, that builds in a very good pre-shot routine for them, and that's how they get the judgment and the pace required on each shot. There's also a good argument for doing the same amount of feathers each time, because it means that each shot is treated in exactly the same way. So if you've got a simple shot, you still go through your normal routine of, let's say a player does 3 feathers. So on that easy shot, they still do 3 feathers. And then if they've got a shot that's slightly more difficult, then they still do 3 feathers on that shot, so no shot is treated any differently. And if that routine works well for you, there's nothing wrong with doing that routine. So Sean Murphy is a player that does the same feathers on every single shot. Ronnie O'Sullivan, he will alternate the amount of feathers he does. So if the shot is a bit more difficult, he'll probably feather up a few more times to just get a feel for the shot. So let's have a look at a couple of shots here. I'll do the same number of feathers. So on these next few shots, I'm going to do 3 feathers each time, and that's going to be my routine. So I'm standing behind the shot, I get down to the shot, and I'm going to do 1, 2, 3 feathers, pause at the white, back, and play the shot. So I'm nicely on this red now. So now I'm going to play this red and a little screw back shot for the pink. So same thing, get down to the red, and then 1, 2, 3, back, and through the shot. So nothing wrong there with keeping that nice, disciplined routine each time. So I'm on the pink playing for the yellow. So I'm walking into the shot, and then 1, 2, 3, pause at the white, back, and through. So you can see there that I'm doing it in a slightly different way. I've got the same routine and the same discipline on every single shot that I'm playing there. And if that works well for you, then that's absolutely perfect. Okay, so now I'm going to use this little routine here, and I'm going to demonstrate these 2 different methods of feathering. So the first time I do this routine, I'm going to change the numbers of feathers that I do depending on the difficulty of the shots. And then the second time I'm going to do this routine, I'm going to be disciplined and do the same 3 feathers every single shot, so we can have a look at the difference between the 2 styles. So this first time, let's have a look, and we're going to be changing the feathers depending on the shot. So the first shot here, a couple of little feathers, playing the shot. Now I've left myself a bit too straight on the black here, so I'm going to play it with top and a bit of left hand side to go around the corner. So now I'll get a bit more of a feel for the shot because it's quite difficult. And that time I did a couple of extra feathers to make sure that I was happy with the shot. Little screw shot on this one, deep screw to hold the white. So a few little feathers here, trying to get a feel for the shot, and then play the shot. So a couple of extra feathers for me there because the difficulty of the shot was higher. Little screw back for the red here. So I actually only did a couple of feathers there because I felt like the shot wasn't too difficult to execute. So this time on and off the cushion, because I've got slightly too much angle to hold, so 2 or 3 feathers on and off the cushion there. So a little stun up past that red. So a few feathers just to get a feel, and then stun up past the red. And then a little run through shot here. So just a couple of feathers. Shot wasn't too bad. And then we're not going to bother going up for the yellow, so just pot in the black. So I'm walking in. So nice cue control each time, and I'm standing behind the shot properly each time and walking in. But you can see my feathers change there depending on what shot I was playing and the difficulty of the shot. Right, so this time I've set the routine up again, and I'm going to do the same number of feathers. So I've picked 3 feathers, and I'm going to do the same number of feathers on every single shot. Doesn't matter on the difficulty of the shot, I'm going to stick to that same routine no matter how difficult or easy I think the shot is. So let's do those 3 feathers each time. So 1, 2, 3, back, play the shot. So I'm on the black, standing behind the line, walking in, 1, 2, 3 feathers, play the shot. So walking into this one, nice easy little rolling, but we're doing the same routine. So 1, 2, 3, play the shot. So screw back on and off the cushion. 1, 2, 3. And then play the shot once you're ready. So dropping this red in, so standing behind the line. 1, 2, 3. Play the shot. So a little stun up for the red, standing behind the line. 1, 2, 3. So I've slightly underhit that shot there. Should be able to just play off the pink slightly. So walking into the shot. 1, 2, 3. And then we'll take the black because we did on the other routine. So walking in. 1, 2, 3. So hopefully everybody found this video useful. The reason I wanted to make this video is I wanted people to know why they were doing their feathers and not just doing them for the sake of it. So I see lots of players and I think they're actually doing their feathers just because they've watched the professionals on the TV and they see them feathering up to the cue ball and we just copy doing those feathers. But the reason I wanted to make this video, I want us to know why we do them. As long as we know why we're doing them, then it means they're definitely serving a purpose. And for lots of shots, snooker is very complicated in terms of not only potting the ball, we're trying to get the white into a perfect position. And that requires a lot of touch and feel. And that's why we use those feathers, so that we get a feeling for the pace and the power that's required on the shot. As always, if you did enjoy this video, please give the video a like. You can also support these videos on Patreon as well, so for anybody that wants to offer a little bit of extra support, the link for that is in the description below. Please subscribe to the channel, that really helps me just to keep these videos coming all the time. And as always, thanks for watching, cheers.